Welcome to another episode of Drunk Cop and a Teacher, the podcast where everything's made up and our comments don't matter, just like any consideration for my time because I'm stuck here doing this episode instead of playing Halo like I should be. Mike, you're an asshole.
Hey, it's not my fault. All right, it's not my fault that Microsoft was like, "Oh, hey, let's drop it in December 8th when Mike is busy." Like, no consideration, selfish ass motherfuckers.
No, I blame it on Sal because he forgot to download it.
Okay, well, first of all, let's get to the real
That's
issue
true.
here. Let's get to the real issue here. Who the hell launches a game at 1 p.m. in the afternoon?
You told me it
Mm,
was worldwide, so don't blame.
Yeah, and it's in the text. It's in the text when you actually go down the text of the group chat. I mentioned, why do you need these days off? And you're like, it's a worldwide premiere launch.
Well, it's a global, yeah, it is a global release, but it's just dumb. And I think if I saw only one complaint on social media where like even if you buy the physical copy, because the physical copies were out like a day or two before, but you still couldn't play the campaign
Of
until
course, you have
that
to.
1 o'clock time.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Hmm.
whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's different. But I mean, yeah, when you said 1 o'clock, I'm like, PM? What? So it was very interesting and new.
Okay. Oh, hey, Bummis. And by the way, listeners, that's Ham. It's outside doing this recording in his phone. You're gonna hear like weird trucks and shit.
Yeah, like cars,
Yeah.
because we fan.
Or like tires screeching like that one episode we did with Barbarian in the background.
Oh my god, yeah. You hear that fucking race car driver?
We yeah, I just sent you a message. That's why we're doing it outside.
That's fair. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well,
he has
what's not
family.
fair is Mike's health, I guess. I have no other transition for that. So, Mike, what you been up to?
You said health?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know what you meant by that.
Mike's in Omaha, I believe.
I'm in Omaha,
How are the
Omaha.
steaks?
I mean, there's really nothing here. I'm in the city. Like I'm in downtown Omaha right now for a wedding.
Ah, okay. I would
I'm
have been
like,
fine.
if I'm correct, I'm like 15 minutes away from the city. I'm from the state of Iowa.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna probably go to Iowa just to go visit that state and get a shot glass because I don't know if I've ever told you guys. Me and my wife, we have a bucket list, is to collect 50 shot glasses from all the states.
But
Too
you
late.
don't drink.
Exactly, but still though, like, can you imagine like somebody coming over to my house and be like, "Oh shit, look at all those shot glasses." Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's what I would say, and then grab one and fucking break it.
I'd just be more confused. Like, why the hell do you even have them if you don't even drink?
I mean, they look. I mean, shot glass. You gotta admit, shot glasses are kind of cool.
Some are, yeah, agreed.
Uh,
But
uh,
I also use them. Like, I
I mean, I don't.
when I come over, you use them.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, you're a different case, but I. I mean, I don't. I'm
What?
not the type
Like,
of
oh,
type of person that will collect like that metal shit that you put on your refrigerators or bobby
you
pins.
mean
Like,
magnets?
yeah, that magnet shit. I don't fucking know what's it called.
That metal shit you put on a fridge?
That shit that stucks. Like, yo, why is this sticky, bro? I don't know.
Oh my.
I don't know. I don't like that. Like, that's not cool. Like, it's like, oh, look at my bobby pin. No, no. Shot glasses are the way to go.
Okay.
But when I was flying here, uh, I was watching some of the shorts of Disney that
yeah.
I downloaded real quick. I saw Lava. I saw Jack Jack. I saw Alberto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, saw the Ratatouille one. They're all great, man. I think the one that I loved the most was the lava. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah, that's
two.
an older one, I think.
Yeah, that was two different volcanoes.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it. This is my first time seeing it, and holy shit, I thought it was great. I think that's my favorite one so far. The Ciao Alberto was okay. It wasn't much. It was supposed to get you in the fields, but it was just like, it's okay. But yeah, that's all. That's what I've been up to. Nothing much. I'm ready. I'm really very excited to review Camp Cretaceous.
Right, Ham. Anything with you?
What
All right,
the?
and that's enough of Ham. All right.
Whoa. I did finish something. I don't remember what it was.
Besides your drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely finished that and started another one and then finished that. I'm blanking, guys. I really don't remember.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that's a good thing.
yeah, I think I watched Camp Cretaceous.
Okay.
No, I think I'll just give time to Sal and then interrupt him maybe once or twice.
Sounds about right.
Remember, yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched anything. I didn't get to watch the things I wanted to watch, like Tick Tick Boom or Into the Heights or I have been listening because I drive my son over to his grandparents in the morning, a couple mornings each week, and we have been listening to the Encanto soundtrack, and I stand by what I said. I just listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack gives you enough of all the story that you need to understand it, and I really like it. My son really likes it. He's starting to sing to it more. But yeah. So other than that, though. Played a little bit of Halo, which these gentlemen here are going to give me a little bit of time to talk about. And I did buy the battle pass for Halo.
Oh, how much?
I only spent the $10. Well, technically
Okay.
$9 for the battle pass.
Okay.
I got paid, but and I was really tempted. I was like, I could just do the bundle and just skip 25 levels, but I was like, no, I don't need to. I got 6 months to get to 100. I'm good. I'm already like on level 33 or something like that. Like
Okay.
I
I
can
that. I
make it there.
appreciate the grind. I appreciate the grind. You trying to commit. You're trying to do it naturally. You're not trying to be like these little fucks. That's like, mommy gave me $20. I want to, boost up to level 100. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the actual old school way.
That's all I can do, because now I get to play with the customization shit, and hopefully I'll kind of suit my Spartan a little bit more, because I'm getting more into it, I guess,
Yeah.
with the
Uh-huh.
little things I have been unlocking through. I'm trying to think through the like, even the campaign gives you customizable shit, which is kind of cool. And then, like, now with Gold Games Pass, you actually have perks now that you get for playing the game, and I think it's supposed to be monthly perks. Ham, did you collect your monthly perk for today?
Wait, do I have to in multiplayer
No.
or
Yeah,
I
well, you
haven't
just
touched the
you
game
just go to
today.
the Games Pass, like you go into the Games Pass app on your Xbox, and then there's like a Halo thing there because they're promoting it, and you just claim your it's an assault rifle skin, and like I think a
I
couple swaps.
no, I haven't played at all, so I haven't
Okay,
played anything. So yeah, good thing now I know how to do that.
there you go. Other than that, I think, yeah, there's nothing much else to catch up on. I'm gonna be swamped the next couple of weeks, all the way up until 2022, just because of I really want to finish my paper for my doctorate,
Not
and I have the campaign to beat, and I'm just, yeah, I have too much to do that I don't think I'll be able to watch much other than what we've kind of already planned for the rest of the year.
okay. Here's some advice here. Uh, Play Halo and make a doctorate about Halo somehow.
Oh God, if I could only wish. All right, listeners, here's the layout, the order that we'll go through. I guess I'll talk about Halo first. We'll kind of get that out of the way. I'll talk initial impressions of Halo, because I'm not that far into the game. I'm only on like the third mission, I believe, third or fourth mission. But
How many hours?
to I guess to without spoiling the story, I just landed, quote unquote, landed on Zeta Halo.
Reach.
So I just got to the open world part to it.
Okay.
So then after I talk a little bit about Halo, we'll talk a little bit about Sonic. We'll talk about Shang-Chi for just a brief minute, and then we'll end it with the Camp Cretaceous Season 4 review, because Season 4 came out with very little marketing, because I almost forgot it even came out to begin with until I think Ham was the one that brought it up.
Yeah, Ham is the one that mentioned it.
Oh.
It's always Ham. All right. Halo Infinite.
Hello.
As we already said, a weird release of 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And listeners, if you have not played the campaign yet, but you've been playing the multiplayer, make sure you download the game first before you actually try to attempt a campaign. I find this really stupid and irritating that I downloaded the game, but I didn't download the campaign portion to it, which to me did not make sense at all.
That's on you, Papa.
So when I got to the campaign part, I was like, "Oh, I'm excited! I'm gonna." It's right there. I see it. It took me to the next menu, and then all of a sudden, it's like, "Oh, your campaign is not installed." I'm like, "What?" And so I went through the bullshit menu stuff, and it's like it gives you a checklist of things. Like the first two things on the checklist is multiplayer and campaign, and then there's like a whole set of checklists for languages because then you can have like the different languages like English or Spanish or whatever. And
Rudy,
so
Yeah.
I had to go in and download a campaign, and it took a couple hours. So
Are you playing it in Spanish? I will play it in Spanish.
also, for people that don't usually play video games, they back in the day Nintendo used to release them on Friday, and then what was other games like Xbox and PlayStation?
Tuesday.
Tuesdays,
Right? Yeah, Tuesday. It's been a
Yeah.
while. Yeah.
Now it's all over the place. Now
But
you could
yeah,
release a game anywhere, anytime, any
it's
day.
Tuesday at 3 Eastern Standard Time, correct?
Technically, it all depends on the time zone that you're in.
So 12, correct?
Yeah, 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. But if you were living in the Eastern time, and if you were waiting for some type of update or for some type of reason, they will follow the Western time, like Pacific time.
Okay, so yeah, it would be closer to 3 a.m., right?
Yeah, it'll be like 3 a.m. in Eastern time because technically Pacific time it's when everybody should already have it. That's like the right time apparently.
Because I wanted to hear from Sal because he was always trying to play a game when like the minute it came out. So I was never that person, but you know,
nope.
Yeah.
I had to wait a couple hours to download it.
hours. Ooh.
Ooh.
Couple hours, yeah. Well, because I was running on Wi-Fi, weren't running direct.
Oh
Which
well, then yeah.
Wi-Fi takes a
You
little
again,
while.
again.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Halo Infinite campaign. Like I said, I'm not that far into it. Just a couple hours in. Prefacing this really quick, there was a lot of reviews that already come out for this game.
No, we got
Um,
ratings.
all of them are either near perfect or perfect scores for the
Okay.
campaign. And I think there was maybe only one out of like 10 journalists that gave it like a 7, I think.
That was him.
But yeah, pretty much. But everyone else was literally like a 9 or 10 out of 10.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good to
so-
hear. That's good to hear.
Other like that was the only thing I saw. I'm trying to avoid everything spoilers. Like reviews are already up video wise, but even if they're spoiler free, I'm just avoiding it because I just want to go in this with a fresh mindset. And this has been something I've been waiting for a very long time. Now, again, this is probably like the quote unquote what they call it, the honeymoon phase or whatever, because it's literally just start, right? It's the beginning of it. You're gonna fall into everything, whether it's positive or negative, whatever the emotions running high. It could just what will settle itself out eventually as I continue to play the game. To answer Ham's couple of questions that he brought up before, well, really one, there is still no co-op, campaign co-op yet.
Interesting.
We already said that before, that they said there was going to be a post-launch thing and it'll eventually come next year. The other thing that apparently people
years after it was supposed to be released.
Yeah, well, the other thing that other people are getting mad about, which I'm indifferent about it right now, is that there's no replayable missions yet. So when you go
Okay.
through it, you can't do a mission select and pick a specific mission and replay it again. I think what you'd have to do is just redo the whole campaign again. So some people are kind of upset about that, which I don't know. It doesn't matter to me because I don't really pick specific missions until I'm done going through my 2 runs anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Which
After
are
watching,
legendary and super duper legendary.
it's all the regular difficulties are still there. All the regular difficulties are there. This game so far, it starts off with probably the most dynamic and exciting cutscene that has ever been in a Halo game, period. Like the way it starts off,
So the best thing about the game is the cutscene. Got it.
The way it starts off, I think really hones in on making sure that you understand that this is going to be strictly a Master Chief game. Because I think that's like a lot of people wanted to be reassured that from Halo 5 after having to go through Lock and all
Oh.
that, and Halo 2 where you had Arbiter and people were back and forth between Arbiter. This one nails it as, yes, you are only going to really be playing Master Chief. As far as I know, you're going to only be playing Master Chief, and this is his story and his journey throughout what you're going to accomplish in this game. It's the best cutscene I've ever seen, and it's so good. It's really, really good.
I just mentioned though, when the first time you play as the Arbiter, I fucking lost my shit because I'm watching the cutscene and it switches to the Arbiter, and I'm like, what's up with the cutscene? Because there's the Arbiter looking, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm playing as an Arbiter.
Oh yeah, no, I did the same thing. I didn't move my controller. I had it down, and I'm just like waiting. I'm like, why isn't this guy moving? Like, what's going on? Like, what? Like, am I supposed to be doing something?
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
It was a big part of gaming. Where
Technically, I think Halo 1 and Halo 4 were the only like you only play as Master Chief, and right? Am I wrong?
Halo 3, Halo 1, 3, and 4.
I thought Halo 3 you were switching with Arbiter. No, you had the choice of switching with Arbiter or Master Chief, I believe.
No, you only played as Master Chief.
You mean maybe as multiplayer?
Arbiter was there, but you only played as Master Chief.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember.
For some reason, I thought you played as Arbiter too in Halo 3.
I don't remember that. No, I mean Sal knows 100%. So,
so as far as the gameplay and everything else, I stand by this so far is that this is like it's a weird combination of every previous Halo game, but weird in a good way, where it doesn't feel like they try to outdo themselves, but it also doesn't feel like it also feels classic. Like it feels like you're playing like Halo 1 or Halo 2 again, but the visuals, I mean, I think they did themselves right by taking that year, because if this is all that they focused on for the visuals for the campaign, I almost want to say that it was worth that wait, and I could care less about the co-op campaign. I could care less about the replayable missions. Like if this is what I'm getting, I support them 100%, because the visuals to this game so far are again the best I've seen in a Halo game and the best I've seen in most games that I've played, at least in the past several years, and that includes The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn even. So the visual graphics to this whole thing is just amazing. Now, to be fair though, I'm also playing on a Series X too. So anyone that's playing on an Xbox One X or Series S may not get that same I guess fidelity or whatever they call it. But I don't know. To me, it looks really, really, really good.
So you're telling me if it came out last year, it would have been garbage. Got it.
Probably. Like,
Probably, yeah.
I don't know why you're still on this point. I don't get what you're trying to do.
No, I just hate that they pushed it back or forward or whatever.
No, I'm all about that. If they're gonna make visuals look great, that's a good idea that they pushed it back, because I mean, there's a lot of games that came out way too fucking early, and
that's what I'm saying is that they should at least said it was going to come out last year and it came out this year, full year. Then they should have said it would have now came out.
Oh, one of the other things I wanted to also bring up was there's always a fear in a game when they promote a gimmick and you think that gimmick is going to be too much in your face. Like, best example, the Batmobile in Arkham Knight. It was supposed to be promoted as this really cool thing. People wanted a Batmobile, but then when you get the game, you play too much of the fucking Batmobile, and you're like, I'm over it. I think there was also we kind of talked a little bit about Ratchet and Clank and how that whole portal hopping thing might become overdone. I don't know for sure, but there's always that fear that whatever new fresh thing that they add into a game, that it might just kind of ruin the game and kind of ruin your experience. The gimmick in this case with Halo was the grappling hook, right? It's like it's a permanent thing on your Spartan in the game, and you would think, okay, are they going to overdo it? I overdid it by choice because I really love using the grappling hook
Well,
and using it just not just to get around, but also to like get to enemies. And uh, I I don't think this is a spoiler per se, but in the case that you're having trouble with jackals, you can use your grappling hook to knock them back and then get the headshot on them. So it's like almost like
Really?
they found a way for you to enjoy getting rid of the most annoying thing
yeah.
about this enemy type.
But I mean, if the grappling hook is, like you said, a way to get around, and if it's supposed to be quote unquote some parts open world, yeah, I would like to find a way to move faster. So if there's no vehicles, so yeah, I mean, why not grapple it?
The difficulty, I have it on normal difficulty. I always play my Halo games normal difficulty first to enjoy the story, and then legendary difficulty to obviously challenge myself. I kind of wish though I upped the difficulty because the normal difficulty is a little. Maybe it's because I've been playing way too much Halo over the past year, and that like it just feels natural to do the headshots and all this stuff. So because I've been just kind of blowing through the enemies really really fast. So I don't know if the difficulty was just tamed, like more tamed than usual,
Well,
but it feels too easy on normal.
what's the one in between?
Heroic.
That's what I usually play. I definitely don't play legendary unless
Well, you remember also to remember this. You're early into the game, so more likely you'll get a bit more difficult while you play
That
it.
is true, but I've also had one of those quote unquote like boss fights already, and it just didn't feel like it was like challenging. It was cool, but it wasn't
Well,
challenging. At
how
least
about this? How many times have you died in out of top of your head?
by enemies
Yeah.
once. By just messing around too much in the map 3 times.
So
Only
it
because there's a particular part where I was lost because I didn't know exactly where I was going. At half of that time, I actually thought I was guessing where I was going. I was like, "Oh, I'm guessing right. I guess I am supposed to go this way."
you fall in a
But
hole.
you could say that.
Yeah,
You
you
Okay.
could
didn't
say
have the
that.
hook.
Uh,
Um, but I think overall, right now, I see why the scores are as they are. Now, will it continue moving forward? I don't know. The story is interesting. It's still teasing a lot of possibilities as to what happened and what will come throughout the story. Um, and oh, the music! Oh my God, the music is so good in this game. And the parts where they introduce certain beats of the music, it is probably my favorite since Halo 2. Like I think that they mastered the music in this game for where they put in the cutscenes, where you interact with certain things in the missions, like the music and even the sound quality to the guns and the data pads and the maps that you're in. It's hard to really go into
when
detail without spoiling some parts of the story, but I think they really outdid themselves when it comes to sound in Halo Infinite.
when you say Halo, when you say Halo 2, you mean that Halo 2 is better than Halo 1?
I would say most of the music in Halo 2 more memorable than Halo 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Compare.
the only thing I remember is just like the basic Halo music, like the oh. But
Yeah.
that's the only thing
But
I remember. And then Halo 2, I know it was like more of like I think with Halo 2, I remember it was more a little bit more like metal music into it with the Halo theme, and it was really good.
but what Mike doesn't know, probably that I know, who has all the soundtracks?
Spotify.
Sal, you have all the soundtracks, you not?
I believe I have all of them except Halo 4.
Really? Why not?
I don't know, to be honest with you. That could have been my phase where I just wasn't buying things that I like. I was on a budget. I had to save money. Like
Gotcha.
I already spent hundreds on the console, I'm sure, and the controller and the game itself. It's like I don't can't afford another thing for the can't like for the music. I'm pretty sure I
Well,
don't
the
have
temp.
Halo 4. I did buy Halo 5, but Halo 5 was digital, which
Uh,
in retrospect was a regret because I do
it's
want physical copies.
it was the transition between physical and digital, maybe around 4.
This soundtrack is available, I think, to buy as a physical CD, but there's also like a really
Yes.
cool limited edition vinyl
Oh
that
yeah,
I
I was
want
about
to.
to
Yeah.
joke about vinyl because
Oh yes. And
vinyl's selling more than CDs now. So yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
I missed out on the first wave, but supposedly they're gonna push out more in 2022, so I'm gonna hopefully get my chances at that vinyl.
Do you even have anything to play on vinyl?
No, I don't play I'm not gonna play the vinyl. I'm just gonna put it as this display.
Yeah, I
Gotcha,
mean
gotcha.
everybody. I mean,
Fair.
who? I don't expect anybody to really have a vinyl record. I would think people are just buying vinyl just for display.
No, it's more in the retro community. There's a lot of vinyl going on. I'd expect him to buy two, one copy to listen to and one
I
copy to have.
I feel like that's such a niche community though. Like I feel like
Yeah,
most
me
people
too.
really are just displaying them and you're just in that small group, but it feels like a lot because you're in the group that probably plays the vinyls.
I think so, but I mean, there's a reason why vinyls have shot up so much compared to, let's say, 20 years ago, where
Yeah, but that's anything retro nowadays. That's why there's retro action figures in the toy
yeah,
section. That's why there's a whole bunch of
No,
retro
yeah.
shit anywhere.
I
It's just
honestly,
to say, oh, I have this because I
yeah.
used to have it.
I just think
mm,
like the vinyl records, honestly, is just for more just display to just put it on your wall or just be like, oh, hey, yeah, I have this because I'm cool.
uh,
And
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean,
right.
yeah,
It's just like is my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Right.
And also too, I remember Breaking Benjamin did make a soundtrack, made a song for Halo 2.
Yes, they were involved in a couple of the
Yeah,
music
I think it's
Halo,
called
for
"Blow
Halo
Me
2.
Away."
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So far I'm loving Halo Infinite. It's exceeding my expectations right now. As of right now. And
exceeding.
I don't know how long the game is because like I said, I've been avoiding everything else Halo wise until I beat the game at least once. And so we'll see how long that goes because I just got to the quote unquote open world part and I'm already kind of going like my anxiety is going through the roof because of how I'm OCD about collecting things and I'm already like skipping areas and I found an area that I don't think I was supposed to find and yeah it's a hot mess but I
Um.
it does feel like there's a lot to explore and there's like a lot of like buildings and stuff or at least kind of wreckages that you can kind of go through and maybe find maybe not necessarily significant important things but just kind of like maybe a different type of gun that you may want to use or just like just looking at the decor the whatever it is that's lying there in the wreckage to be like oh that's kind of neat kind of
And then
stuff.
My question right now is, where does the story take place? Is it after 5?
Oh, it's definitely after 5.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Significantly though, further than I think most people would think it
Ooh,
is, because it's really weird how they start off, and it does like this whole we're gonna slowly unravel what has happened through like through audio logs or like certain mission points in the game and stuff like that, and there's like a lot of one-liners in the dialogue that seem like okay we're gonna eventually answer this question but just not right now.
so my last two questions are: how long did it take you to get to the open world ish area? And then, if Mike doesn't mind, how many? I want to hear how many years does it take place after 5?
I think it took me 2 hours
Red card.
tops.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't want to play that piece of shit game.
two
How are you gonna
hours
play it anyways?
yeah exactly 2 hours tops I think because I'm
Yeah.
trying to think I started it at 7 and then I think I had to put my kid away at 8:30.
Okay.
My son actually was the one that stayed up a little bit more because he was into it, but the way that the game starts off was not so pleasant for my daughter. She got spooked, so to speak.
But was it
Um,
like this is still at a mature game, correct?
yes.
Okay.
I think it's still a T for teen.
Oh, T. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, okay.
But my son was into it. He wanted to stay up with me to watch the game. I'm like, no, he's got to go to sleep at some point. So I'm gonna put him to sleep now, especially if we have to do a recording. So
Especially if you want to play more.
yeah. Um, And then to answer the other question, I don't know exactly how many years. I think it's out there somewhere that they said how many years it was or how much time has passed, but I don't know off the top of my head.
More or less, maybe if you can.
It's a significant amount of time.
More.
That's all I can
Yeah.
say. It's a significant amount of time.
I think when the moment that you're done with the game, I want you to do a full review
I
and
will.
see if you could I don't know how
Yeah,
to
Hopefully,
mention
Ham
don't
will
it.
be
do
done
that.
with the game as well, and we can get his neutral perspective on
Oh,
it.
I think he's already done with the game already.
All
But
right.
one last question. One last question.
Yeah.
You're not watching any spoilers or even wondering how
No.
long the campaign is.
No.
But
No.
in your, I don't know, how can I say this correctly? Um, what are your expectations for it to like? What are the hours you're expecting for this game to have in the campaign? Like, how long do you think it should
It it,
satisfy your needs?
it should be a standard open world game amount of hours. So like what 12 hours is that the standard, right, for open world games to do just everything bare
I
minimum?
think I think that's low.
But
12
bare
hours.
minimum, that's I mean,
Uh,
if you're just going through story, because most open world games, like the majority of the time is really going through like collecting the collectibles or doing side missions. But if you're just doing the main story, it's roughly about 12 to 15 hours.
okay, 15's a better number.
I mean, what was I'm trying to think. I know Last of Us Part 2 took us a long ass time, but that was a very long game, but that wasn't
Also,
exactly open world either.
yeah.
I don't know,
So,
like 12 to 15 probably, because this is a standalone game. The $60 has to be campaign based, not multiplayer based. So it has to be a substantial
Well,
amount of time.
for Valhalla, right? Main story, 58 hours.
wow.
Main story 58 hours.
Yes.
That can't be right.
Yeah,
Is
that
it?
doesn't sound right.
I'm watching it right now.
I don't know.
All right. What about,
Like,
well, can you look up Skyrim?
Let me see. Oh, Skyrim is a fucking monster.
yeah,
That
well, like
shit's
that's
like
not a
a
fair comparison because this isn't open world. This is like somewhat open world.
Well, then the best, like you said, the best would be Last of Us 2 then.
let me see how
Yeah,
long
but that
Last of
one was
Us.
specific, and that's the thing. Like, I kind of want it on that same level of Last of Us, where it really drives home with the main character.
Which
But
even Last of Us was only sort of one open world, I believe.
I would also have to like also factor
25
in my.
hours.
I would also have to factor in my. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is the first time that the campaign is on its own for $60. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I think it's just too early to say right now.
$60. I'm gonna half it to 30. 30 hours should be done.
Okay, let's go ahead and move.
Hmm.
Just a couple brief updates. Shang-Chi was confirmed to have a sequel in the works. I think it made what 400 mil in the box office. I think that's
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I believe it's the same director that's on board for the sequel. Uh, the next, well, there's kind of two updates in one. By the way, the Game Awards is tomorrow, and they've already teased two things. One, they're going to give us our first trailer for the Halo TV series, which they did the teaser trailer already online. I don't know if either of you saw it, but I'm thinking it looks really good already so far. But we'll see what the trailer brings.
What, they showed a helmet?
No, they showed the Pelican. They showed more ODSTs. They showed a couple of the guns. They showed quite a bit in like a 30-second teaser trailer.
Mm,
Synopsis?
I don't know.
But also on the Game Awards, we're gonna get the first trailer to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which today they released the movie poster for. And holy shit, that movie poster is probably my favorite movie poster of all time, just
Wow.
because of how much nostalgia it hits all in one image. Because you have the biplane with Miles or Sonic and Tails, um, which is straight like from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where I think it's like towards the end of the game where they're heading towards Eggman. And then Eggman, Jim Carrey himself, is in a classic kind of suit, a jacket, so to speak, but also in the vehicle that he's in is a classic style that he's also done in the previous Sonic games.
Yeah.
Then you have the Buzz Bomber, which is that robot bee thing on the on the top
Yeah.
left, I think of it was.
Yeah.
Just it just looks so good. And I want that poster and I want it framed and I need it. I need that
Also,
poster.
wait a minute. Tails can fly. Why is he flying a plane?
Can't fly that fast and that high.
I guess. But if Tail doesn't pick him up like in the game, red card.
Oh,
I,
I
I'm
can almost promise you it's gonna do that.
I
Okay.
was hoping for I thought the poster looked fucking awesome too. But I'm wondering they're gonna have a separate poster for Knuckles.
Most
No,
likely.
Knuckles is probably going to show up at the end like Tails did, right?
No.
Nah, he's supposed to be part of the whole movie.
So we got Tails and Knuckles, and I'm not sure where they're supposed to take place either. So
My guess is like the Eggman's gonna run into Knuckles and then convince him that Sonic's a bad guy, and then
ooh,
they're
I like
both
that.
gonna go after him, and then Sonic's gonna have to find a way to convince him that he's not a bad guy, and then they all fight Eggman together.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then part 3 is gonna be with was it Dark Sonic or Shadow?
Oh, Metal
Shadow,
Sonic.
Metal Sonic or
They should do Metal
Shadow?
Sonic.
Ooh,
No, no,
Metal.
no, no.
Mm.
That'd be dope.
Metal
Or
Sonic.
maybe Metal Sonic will be in this one.
I don't know.
That's kind of pushing it, but maybe.
Too early
Okay.
to tell. Too early to tell.
Other than that, nothing. I mean, there's we will eventually do an update to the Alec Baldwin situation because he did have an interview out, his first interview with was it, oh my gosh, what was it?
ABC.
NBC. Okay, I
No,
wasn't sure if
ABC.
that was.
ABC.
So eventually we will, see what came out of that. I haven't followed that, but I'm sure Ham did.
UPN.
UPN.
Nobody remembers that. All right.
Nope.
Never.
But otherwise nothing else really major. Everything's kind of focusing on Halo and Spider-Man at the moment because those are kind of the two biggest things right now for this month.
Can I mention something about? I know. I think each episode we keep on mentioning some shit about Spider-Man. I have a rant,
I wonder why.
but the thing is that like I think it's kind of bullshit that they're releasing these fucking. I think I've already seen like 5 little short trailers, and each of them was with Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, Sandman. Like they're fucking like spoiling the movie. It's just like, can you fucking stop?
Where
I mean,
have you been seeing this?
Oh, YouTube. I mean, I haven't seen them, but I've seen like the front cover of it on YouTube, like the
Okay.
thumbnail.
Yeah, not like every day because they're still promoting the movie tickets, and
Are
so
they
they're doing
TV
like
spots?
it's a new TV spot basically every day. But I don't think they're really spoiled. It's the same video clips we've seen over and over and over again. I don't think
Not
there's
really.
anything
No.
spoiled.
They
I'm not
have
watching
done.
it, so
They
that's
done.
just
I mean,
why
I
I'm
haven't
watching
seen
it.
it. I haven't seen them, but I have seen at least like thumbnails or like little things on Instagram about the TV spots and shit like that. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's fucking stupid that they're still like releasing trailers for this, and the movie comes out next week.
I don't know. To me, it's all the same. Like I don't see anything that's really spoiling anything. But they did have side tangent before we get to Camp Cretaceous. They did have I think it was on the Sony YouTube channel. They did have a panel where it was Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and Jamie Foxx talking about their return to the movie, and they were asked about like how was it like being back in suits and what was like why did they come back and things like that, which was was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Afro Molina's
A minute for the money.
Yeah, the check was really nice.
That after, but I can't watch that before.
But I'm so sorry. Jamie Foxx looks out of place.
Well, that's not like his fault or anything. Like
I mean, I'm not saying that it's his fault at all. But I'm just saying, like,
Mike's gonna be mad at me, so I'm not gonna make that joke.
I still stand by that. I don't like his portrayal of Max Dillon, but regardless,
that's what I'm saying.
I still liked his Electro.
Oh,
so I'm
hell
glad
no!
He's coming back. I liked his Electro. I just didn't like his Max Dillon.
Yeah,
but I like that he's coming back for an Electro role.
Yeah, don't likes to do the superhero slash villain and the actual person. Don't forget.
Oh yeah. No, I thought he was a shit Electro, and that's not Jamie Foxx's fault. I'm not, you know, but I mean that's why we. Oh, I mean it's kind of obvious. The blue Electro shit was bad. It was bad to begin with, and that's why they're not using it. They're doing regular Electro.
It's it's the Ultimate series. I don't know. It didn't bother me. I was okay with it. I was fine.
But,
Also,
but,
fuck.
but you gotta admit, why they're not using it then?
Also, I don't want
Because
to
too
open.
many people gave too much shit about it. They wanted the
Yeah,
classic version first before they got the Ultimate version.
I don't.
Obviously, the classic version
Mm.
holds more weight than the Ultimate
Yeah, for
series
sure.
because there's nothing interesting about a pure blue essence versus someone who's wearing yellow and green sort of spandex. Like the
Yeah.
original is more interesting. So that's why like a lot of people gave it shit. And so they're listening to the fans. I'm like, okay, we won't give you shit.
Also, I
Uh,
don't want to this Pandora slash interdimensional box, but I don't know if you guys know, or I have no idea, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. These are specifically the characters from the past movies. These aren't sort of maybe an altered.
No, I'm fully said that these are variants of those previous versions.
That's what I'm saying. Are they? Yeah, so I mean, that's why it could be a little bit different. And but are we gonna talk about? I mean, we haven't mentioned it. The trailer for the animated movie.
Oh, that's right. Into the Spider-Verse
oh
2
Yeah,
trailer came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
That looked really good. Just as
yeah.
trippy as the first movie.
Just
Yeah.
as trippy, yeah. And I like the
And
whole
it's a
20.
two-parter.
Yeah, I saw that at
Mm.
the end. Right at the end, I was like, "Wait a minute, what? Part one?" So
I
it's
hope
just
we get to
a
see Spidey
parter.
Punk. What?
I said, "Are we sure it's not a three-parter?"
Technically, it is a three-parter, but it's a
Oh, you're there?
two. So you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. No, I was about to say I thought you were gonna jump in
yeah.
real quick, but
Yeah, I mean, technically, it's a three-parter movies, but like into that storyline, it's a two-part.
so
It's
it's
like, you know,
future. So the first part of the lawsuit were sort of part one and part two, right?
yeah. I mean, it's just like it's like Harry Potter and Twilight, how they did part one and part two. Yes,
Hey,
I
don't
combined
compare this shit to
uh,
Twilight. Come on, man.
the title. Okay,
Oh, okay.
the title. You know, Twilight was better,
Got it. I got it. I
but
got it.
but yeah, I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for Spidey 2099. That's gonna be fucking sick.
That was weird for you to say sick. Just saying.
That was
But
so
again,
sick.
you're also like a child, so I guess that makes sense.
Ooh.
Well, it's good to be young.
Speaking of
Fair.
children, let's go ahead and talk Camp Cretaceous Season 4.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Surprisingly enough, this fourth season added an extra episode because I had to make sure and check. Season 1 and Season 2 both had 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Season 3 had 10 episodes, and now
Going
Season
up.
4 had 11. So
Season
they're
5, 12.
probably at this rate. Now to refresh our memories, I believe that Mike so far has been the only one to give all 3 seasons a green card,
Yep.
where Ham and I were green cards for season 1 and season 2, but we gave a yellow card for season 3.
Yeah, and I did mention that in my opinion, season 3 was the best.
Yeah, we were like complete opposite. Well, I mean, not opposites, but
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm trying to remember right now.
I
Quick
think
question
we
though. Quick question. Have it
Hmm.
been have they been doing 2 seasons per year? Because we haven't been doing this for fucking 4 years.
they started in 2020, so it's already been 1 year.
So they've been doing 2 seasons for each year, I think.
That's what I'm saying. We like
Yeah.
we're the fourth season. There's no way we've been doing this for 4
Yeah,
years.
but it's like it's all upload on Netflix. It's not like they have to wait for like if you think about it, season 1 and season 2 is essentially well, no, not even. Season 1, 2, and 3 could be one season on its own.
Oh, so you're talking like sort of like Pokemon when they do the quote unquote one season, but the next season's technically the whole series or
I mean,
whatever.
the way they say it is season 4, but what I don't think it matters because it's put on a streaming service. It's not like they have to wait for a network to say, yeah, you're good to air here. Oh wait, but
Well,
you
I
can't air
understand that,
on this week.
but yeah.
Like, I don't think it really matters how many seasons they do in a
Yeah.
year.
Well, I
It's
just mean by the
irrelevant.
number of episodes. That's like
Mhm.
technically a full season. Back in the day, it was like 20-something episodes.
Yeah, it's somewhat like, yeah, I think what Sal mentioned was like season 1 and 2 or like could be a whole season of its own.
No,
And
I
then
got that. I got that. Yeah.
okay, yeah. And then season 3, it's a season of its own, and then this one, we're going to talk about it. So I don't
From
know.
what I recall, I think Ham and I were in agreement with that we didn't really like the wishy-washiness of like these characters, like especially with Ben, where he's like, "Oh, I'm
Oh
all
yeah,
about like
yeah,
staying with the
yeah,
dinosaurs
yeah.
and us," and then I'm like, "No, I want to be with you guys," but I'm like, "No, I miss the dinosaurs," and it was like it was a
Yeah,
little too much, and then
Forced
I
conflict, which I don't think should have been. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
and then
remember.
I think with Kenji, I think I had an issue with Kenji where they had an opportunity to really mature his character, but then they kind of fucked it up again towards the end where he kind of fell back into his old self and it was like, well, this
Yeah.
was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I remember one episode where I complained really hard about all the fucking Jurassic Park references, and I was like, you what's the point? Just sell me the fucking plushie at this point if that's what you're trying to do. So, and I believe that was Mike's favorite episode as well.
yeah, it was actually Dick.
So let's see if season 4 keeps Mike's consistency and if it wins Ham and I back into Camp Cretaceous. We'll start with the cards and then we'll circle back around talking about what we liked and disliked about season 4. So, Mike, what card are you going to
Red.
give? Wow, really?
Yeah, fucking
Over.
red. Give it a Becky for me.
No bullshit. Really?
Yeah, for real. I'm being for real, a Becky.
What? Oh, this guy doesn't like.
Spoilers, people. Everyone, just spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, but
Spoilers.
no, like
Spoiler
a
alert.
red card, red card.
Red lights representing spoilers.
Yeah,
Okay, so
spoilers,
wow,
spoilers,
Mike.
It
spoilers.
could be.
Red
It could
card.
be a Christmas
Ah,
episode with
I,
red cards and green cards, man.
It-
I'm interested to hear what exactly
yeah,
Mike has issues with
Right?
because
Like red.
there's a couple of different things I feel like he can go on and on, but for all I know, it could be also like none of the things I think, and it's like, oh, you would be the one to complain about
Yeah,
this.
for a
Got it.
certain reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't mind.
All right, Ham, what card would you give it?
Great. I did not even think about this. um,
Just color.
um, the,
Come on,
all right. I'm
Come on,
between a
Tiger.
yellow and a green. All right.
You're giving it a green.
I don't. I may. Okay, we'll keep talking and then I'll convince myself. Just because there is a big thing, and then
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
I guess we're just you know what? We'll just do the traffic light situation. I'm gonna give it a yellow.
Okay.
I can't justify a green. I cannot.
There's a reason I think I can't justify agreeing, and I will say that later.
Okay. So my biggest problem, or I guess my biggest thing I'll point out with this season is that I feel like there are only 2 or 3 relevant episodes in this season.
Oh, I thought you were about to say characters.
No, 2 or 3 actual
'Cause I could
episodes
say
that mean something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I kept thinking throughout this entire season, oh, that's the quote unquote danger you want to put the kids in. So now we're going to create a story to purposely put them in that danger. And it bothered me so much because it felt like every episode there were 2 or 3 specific dangerous moments where they should not have been in, but because to build a suspense or because people love to see dinosaurs, wrecking shit, they're going to purposely put them in there. And I think I started saying this and when we talked about the last season where I can only believe so much that these kids can survive for this long.
Oh
Like there's
yeah.
only
Okay.
so
Yeah.
many
I noticed
situations
that.
where like I
Oh.
get it, like the suspension of disbelief or oh he lucked out, but this one I think really just pushed it too much over the edge, and it was like, okay, you're killing it for me because I don't buy that these kids could survive a shipwreck. I don't buy that these kids could outrun a saber-toothed tiger. I don't buy that Darius could have survived a velociraptor attack head on. Like,
Yeah.
there's just so many instances in this season that I just got so frustrated. I was like, I want to skip this episode because I don't think nothing's gonna happen in here. I just wanted to skip like almost this entire season
Wow.
just because of those incidences. Like, even with the mosasaur attack, as cool as it is, because I'm a huge, obviously water based person, mosasaur, cool dinosaur. I love seeing a mosasaur. It bothered me that they managed to survive that shit. Like, it's just it. I'm over it. I'm literally over it, and I kind of wish that they get to a point where they can hand off the torch to other characters. Because I think I'm
Or
kind
even
of
movie. The next movie coming out. Or the real movies, you know what I mean?
well. So then they introduce a couple of characters in here, which I'd be interested to see if they even show up in the movie or get referenced at all in the movie.
Yeah.
And I thought the Doctor May Turner, I think her name is May.
Yeah.
She seemed really out of place in this whole thing. I was really hoping she would like kind of turn towards the end of the series and be like, "Oh, you're the bad guy this whole time." No, not at all. She's very obviously in her own little world and trust everything that this company has been doing, and just like I was like, okay, you're a little too cartoony for this cartoon series. Like, you're a little over the top with the niceness and stuff. Like, I kind of wish you just did turn evil, so at least you're a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, also I thought she died in my mind because you don't see her until a little later after a certain situation. You know?
Well, she got bit by a
Spoilers, yeah,
velociraptor.
spoilers,
Like,
spoilers, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so where is she in that episode? Where is she in that? And she's back, and I'm like, why? What are you gonna do?
I
You're
don't
not
think you see her for like 2 episodes, I
a,
believe so.
a useless character.
but so like the first half of this series, the season was like really boring, and it didn't start picking up until we finally get Cash. But then even like after the second episode of Cash, I thought at least like I get it. This guy's supposed to be really stupid, but he cannot be that stupid for 4 fucking episodes with so many coincidences that he
Mhm.
doesn't think for once that this kid that showed up out of nowhere is really fucking shit up. Like,
I
God,
agree.
that whole like 4 or 5 episodes was irritating to see that character play out that long. I liked his intro. I liked that he was different and kind of like, was now we're getting more into the Manticore thing, but
Yeah,
it just they stretched out so many story sections that they would have easily wrapped that up in like 2 or 3 episodes in previous seasons.
that's what I'm
Like
saying. What
the whole relationship between Brooklyn took a whole fucking season. I was like,
okay,
are you kidding me? Like,
but
why are you still teasing this shit every single time? Like, just get to the point already.
what it sounds like? How many episodes did you want this season to be? Then that's what it sounds like. You wanted this to be short.
No,
I wish it was
either
short.
I just think they
You said you would skip
stretched too
stuff.
many fillers. There was too many filler episodes that didn't really go anywhere.
Look, this sounds like you wanted to be 5 good episodes rather than.
It's not so much of a want. It's more of you should have filled in the story more if you were gonna give me it's like 11 episodes. Like, it's not that I want it to be shorter. I want more story content than what I was given.
What I'm saying, what you got
What I
should have been
got
shorter.
should have been 5 or 8 episodes at most.
Okay,
But
there you
it's
go.
not what I want. There's a difference between saying what should have been and
Exactly.
what I
You
want.
wanted fucking 11 good episodes, right?
I, I mean, what I wanted was a good fucking season.
And then the robots was like, why? Like, especially
No.
that last robot was a piece of shit. Like,
Arthur,
are you
you brought
kidding
up the
me?
robots.
Like, that was like fucking something you fight in Donkey Kong Country or something, like 64
No,
or
no,
whatever.
the
Like,
original robots reminded me of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Chompers or whatever.
they the Bards or the Brads or
The brats,
whatever.
but those remind me of the Chompers from whatever from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the white fucking little guys go.
I don't know. They fucking remind me of some type of sort of transformers of like little
Oh,
minions.
Ravage, yeah, Ravage.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
Chompers from
Oh, you know what? Green
the
card.
Turtles,
I'm just kidding. I'm just
You
kidding.
know, go card.
the cartoon series. Come on.
So I gave the first episode a pass. You know, intro, I get it. All right, we gotta wreck the ship. We can't have him have like this. Can't have him go to a city. We gotta do something more drastic and more dramatic. Let's put them back on a quote unquote island.
You gotta have
Um,
dinosaurs.
and then like I said, Cash. The episodes, the first episode and a half of Cash, I thought was cool. All right, interesting new take. Let's go for it. And then Darius playing along with the whole thing. That was stretched out too much. I was like, okay, I'm over that. And then we finally get the cliffhanger scene at the end of the season where the president or boss of Manticore is actually Kenji's dad this whole time.
Anybody
Which,
figure that out?
what?
I said, did anybody figure that out or had a suspicion?
No,
No.
not at all. Not
No.
me. I didn't think about it, and I think maybe the season did well in making you forget that Kenji's dad was like super rich and had connections and shit. But in retrospect, now that you had brought that up, thinking back in previous seasons, I guess it could have been hinted, or you could have like suspected, like, oh, maybe Kenji's dad is the head of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's why I like that cliffhanger scene
I
for
did.
that moment where it's like, oh, cool. I wish you had happened 8 episodes ago and actually gave me this story instead of what you actually gave me. Like this, like if you know what? I'm dropping to a red. I'm doing it.
Oh shit!
You.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't really piece the things together. But I think now that when they did that at the end, there's a reason why we sort of focus more on Kenji and blanking on her name.
Brooklyn.
I was about to say Dallas. Yeah, Brooklyn. So,
and then I can only deal with Darius so much because there were so many times in the fucking series where I was like, if I was one of his friends, like if I was Kenji or whatever, I would be like, fuck you and your dinosaurs. Like I'm over your shit. I'm over you. I'm gonna go save my life. You can go save the dinosaurs yourself. I'm sorry that you don't have a parent to have to like be worried about or have someone's concern about you, but everyone else does, and so they want to get back home to their family.
No, but there's character development. He actually does that. You remember
character development being a dumbass
for like 2 seconds.
No,
for literally 2 seconds.
No, but when the dinosaurs is fighting, he actually went and tried to get the phone instead of saving the dinosaurs. That is something different that we haven't seen. He said, fuck the dinosaurs. They can fight it out, maybe even die. And he actually tried to get the phone because
there was no phone back in the island.
No, he was trying to get the phone from Cash or whatever, remember? And he called.
I mean,
it doesn't make up for all the shit that he put them through, though. Like,
yeah, but
it was too late. They should have done that either at the beginning of the season or in the previous season.
But there was character development because he found out that all the children were having nightmares about the dinosaurs, and eventually he was just like, "Hey, fuck the dinosaurs. My friends are having dreams and getting fucked, basically PTSD or whatever." And he's like, "I'm gonna say."
But don't you think it's bad when you can't tell that your own friends are dealing with shit, or the fact that they can't talk to you about their shit? Like, that puts you in a bad spotlight.
Because that's what his character was. But then when he found out, he did the opposite, right?
But he was so fucking slow to notice that?
No, well, they were hiding it from him. I mean, the
whole entire
there
season.
was too many times where what was Yaz? Was it? Yeah, it was Yaz that was like very hesitant to do shit, and the way she talked was like, Darius, don't you get that she's going through shit? Do you not open your eyes? Do you not listen and realize that she's suffering here?
Also, they're still sort of kids. That'll be my scapegoat, but they're still kids. They don't know much.
They don't know much, but how the fuck can they survive all these dinosaurs?
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100% with that. I mean, one of the things I really was like, oh, you're gonna hack a robot? Like, they even sort of try to be like, oh, she can't hack a robot, but she can hack another fucking robot. Yeah, that one was very left field for me. I'm like, Okay, disbelief. And then the other thing was the island that had different fucking temperature. Oh, yeah.
uh, 3 out of the 11 episodes is just not enough a percentage for me. So I am going to drop down to a red just because I thought this was the weakest season. I thought this was filler, too many filler episodes.
Yeah.
This should have been either a shorter season and just gotten straight to the point, or you
Yeah.
should have filled up with actual good content. And the character development shit shouldn't have taken an entire season, at least in the way they've been pacing this thing, because
Yeah.
we've seen them go through more shit in the first 2 seasons than we did in this one altogether. And
But
so
I also think, do you think it leads to the they're not being on the actual island with all the dinosaurs, that it sort of drops off a little bit?
what do you mean, like the interest to it?
Yeah, I mean, so they're
That's what
off.
I think I'm over the kids because I'm done buying into the fact that these kids can survive anything.
No, I
Like
understand that. Yeah,
I want them to just kind of pass off the torch. Like give me new characters now and you can keep the whole Camp Cretaceous. Well, you can't even call it Camp Cretaceous anymore, really, because they're not on that island anymore.
No,
but
But
they're on a different island because they're
when
so
I
island boys.
they this should have been the last season, but I almost feel like now they're just kind of stretching it and cash grabbing on the Jurassic Park build up because we are
yeah,
getting Dominion and people are probably going to continue watching this to see if it ties directly in with
I,
Dominion.
so in my mind, I want to see the last episode where they eventually like half getting home, half already home, and getting used to being home. Whatever, like trying to.
What are your positives, Ham? I think like Sal, are
What
you
I'm saying, I'm
were
just saying,
you
like the ending of this should be them reclamating or whatever the word is to home, being safe, maybe getting a little distant from each of the kids and going back to normal. And then
Mhm.
at the end, cliffhanger, they're back in civilization now. There's dinosaurs in civilization, like the end of whatever last movie came out. But positives, positives. I'll tell you negatives real quick. I do like. Oh, they have the technology for that island to have invisible slash doors that lead to different. What is this, Westworld? I mean, I don't know who's seen Westworld, but that's basically what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Um, two people on the island, his or her boss, blah blah blah. Like I said, she was a throwaway character, like basically useless. I don't know what she actually did. Not counting giving them shelter and food. And then maybe telling or giving the idea of talking to dinosaurs, which I don't think they use that much, right?
They used it quite a bit, and plus, Cash was gonna cash in on that idea to his boss. That was his whole thing. Was that he was like, "Oh, this is a cool project.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
was
take the
he doing
credit
more
for
about
it."
the battles?
Oh, the stupid rope, the stupid dinosaur. Like, why? Like, it's like Real Steel, but with dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, yeah, Real Steel. Fuck that one. I don't know what. Yeah, Cash was like. I agree with Sal. Cash was like, okay, that could be cool, but then literally, are you that arrogant? Are you, or do you think that Darius is that like useless that you can't put two together that quick? Um, what else? The relation. I understand the relationship happening so that you find out that the dad is the bad guy. That's what maybe they focus on Kenji and Brooklyn more. I feel like Darius was barely in any episodes until what, the last two or three when he's with the guy.
I don't see what the relationship has to do with that though. Like I kind of get in one perspective, and I'm gonna offer up a different twist to that to kind of
Okay.
be like a better impact. But like I don't understand your take on that. Like why that relationship impactful to the reveal of Kenji's dad being head of Manticore?
I think it's because you saw them becoming. We're like, oh, we're sort of similar, whatever. Oh yeah, my dad or whatever. It was getting to maybe a future season where it's like, oh well, no, like any other series. Oh no, we can't be together. Your dad is bad, and I don't want, some
Yeah,
dumb shit.
but see, wouldn't that have been more impactful though if Kenji was with Sammy? Because Sammy was the one that was hired by Manticore to do
Nobody
this
likes
shit.
me. She's the
Oh
least.
wow, fuck you too.
She's literally the least. Like no, especially in this season. That's what I
You
felt
call
in
me fucked up.
in this season. That she was almost irrelevant. Like
But the whole thing is that she was hired by Cash specifically, and that she now hates Manticore and is going after everything. So I feel like
I feel
that
like there should have been
reveal
more
of
done.
Kenji's
Yeah, with
dad,
her.
like the
It
reveal of Kenji's dad being the head of Manticore, probably would have been more interesting if Kenji was with Sammy instead of Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, but I think it should have been more focused on Sammy, considering the what they pointed out in this, and she was just really not. I mean, literally, there was just 10 minutes of the episode. She's like, "That's the guy who hired me," and then that was it.
Yeah, they built it up to be something bigger, and then it was just like, oh, now we're done with this.
Which, yeah, I don't. I agree that it should be more of her and him and the entire Manticore Corporation, you know, going back and forth. But no, it's literally was a blink of an eye. It's like, okay, we're done with that. We're just gonna keep the two popular characters, aka the jock or rich kid and the influencer. I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck everybody else. I mean, I even think.
I'm not hearing green card material out of you.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm gonna jump to yellow. I don't know if I'm gonna jump straight to red, but um, I don't think it was bad.
I
Um,
do.
yeah, I don't know, but we'll see on the next season.
All right, Mike, why did you hate this series as much as you do?
Um, let me talk about the positives real quick. Hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah, I can't even think. I'll try to think of some as you talk.
All right, so the negatives that I didn't like about the show was that was corny. Um, I felt this season was not Jurassic Park or Jurassic World material
Oh,
whatsoever.
definitely.
It definitely was annoying to see that you have these kids from the first episode on this boat, and then they ran into, that I forgot what was that type of sea monster, the sea dinosaur.
The Mosasaur,
Mo-
Mosasaurus, right?
Mosasaurus, I think so, right? Yeah.
Is it the same one that ate the assistant?
Yes.
Yes.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, that's the same one. It was funny of how they were able to escape without even having any type of solution of escaping, except for luck. But of course, the show makes you want to believe that they are very skilled, or I don't know, some shit. Because remember, a shark almost fucking ate them, but this thing came out of nowhere and ate the shark, and then it was coming back to them. And then, like, the rope breaking didn't really matter. They made you think the rope was about to break, but it didn't break. So I don't understand why they showed that, or But regardless, they should survive the shipwreck, and then they go on this island where I'm believing this show is supposed to take place into a real world
Oh yeah,
scenario.
it's 2050, man. Yeah, exactly.
It's 2050, and they go to this island, and there's like different temperatures. There's different type of worlds. There's a desert storm.
Technology does not exist.
It doesn't. It doesn't make sense, Ham. It doesn't. Like you're in this fucking island, and you're telling me it's right next to Costa Rica, and nobody fucking notices this island except for a group of kids. Like, that's fucking stupid. And it's so stupid that they have these different type of rooms where one is a desert, one is a snow, and one is a regular jungle. And then I just felt like these dinosaurs that they were in the show were props. And the
Yeah,
main thing
Yeah,
was
that's a good point. Yep.
yeah.
and the main thing was just these stupid fucking robots. And this season was so repetitive. Each each episode, if you think about it, there's some sort of character development, and then out of nowhere the writer's like, oh, you know what, we need to do a chase scene with the robots. Boom, chase scene. They escape, they survive. Okay, let's do Kenji in Brooklyn. Let's force this romance in people's faces real quick. Okay, you know what? Let's pause right there. Let's do another chase scene with these robots real quick. You know what? Let's throw some velociraptors because this is a Jurassic Park show. We forgot what it was, a Jurassic Park show. So boom. I mean, it was kind of cool to see the was it Spinosaurus back.
Oh, so hold on. Did they say they actually made it bigger, or what was the deal with that?
I mean, it's the same size. They just brought
I
it
don't.
just
Yeah, I
to
don't think
for
there was anything
science.
really different about it.
They kept saying it was like bigger, right?
I don't
I
know. No
mean,
one. No one cares
I
about
don't
the
know.
Spinosaurus.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I mean, I thought it was cool. I liked it, and I think I was the only one that really liked it from Jurassic Park 3. Was
Keep
I?
going. But
Yeah,
go
sorry.
on.
Yeah, but regardless, though, they sort of, I think, what I saw a little bit of the marketing was the Spinosaurus was supposed to come back into a dramatic thing in this season and stuff like that. It only showed up for like a good 10 seconds or 5 seconds, and then while they were another chase scene of against these robots, and then out of nowhere towards the end, we have Star Wars, these robots coming out, they're all black, nice and shiny. you know I don't fucking understand what's the point of these robots. It takes away like the just the spirit of Jurassic Park, the thing that I loved about season 1 and 2 and 3. Why couldn't And then the ending of the whole thing with Kenji's dad, I gotta say that's the most stupidest fucking ending ever. Because first of all, one, don't you notice that your kid was fucking missing for 6 months? Are you that a big of a
Well,
piece
I
of
mean,
shit?
yeah, I mean that's what
Uh,
they pointed out.
okay.
I don't know. That's just me. Maybe he is a big piece
I,
of shit.
well,
Maybe he knew.
to be fair, we don't know what that conversation is going to lead to, right? Like he is going to be probably one of those like I don't like I ignore everything around me and I'm only focused on my business because my business is the only thing that means anything to me. But he could have probably sent a search party looking for his son. We just don't know that yet, so that's why I'm kind of holding off judgment on that. Like I do get your point and I agree to an extent, but
Right.
we only got like, oh shit, it's his dad, and then that's literally it. No other conversation or talk or
But
anything
that,
about
that was
after
that
the
was
fact.
probably the most interesting thing of the season, right?
Well, what I remember, that was the most like I don't. If you want to talk about the highlights of the season, that is definitely the highlight of the season.
I think so too.
But his reaction was like Kenji, like he was very surprised too. So like, I mean, we're gonna see how it is next season. Um,
I mean, if there is one.
I think so. Right now, it's in top 10 right now on Netflix.
Mm,
I think it's number 7 last time I checked. Each every other character didn't progress. They didn't take a step forward. If anything, if I do have to give credit, maybe is Kenji, because he was shown the most out
yeah,
of everybody. I will agree with you, Ham. Maybe they were hinting the whole entire time, you know, the ending is definitely going to take a huge effect with Kenji.
yeah.
But it was most of the time with him in Brooklyn, and I didn't like. I don't understand that.
See, I
Like,
think that's why it's definitely just focus on them building a real. Not even. I don't even know one of
yeah, and Darius being a dumbass. Darius being a dumbass. The whole
them.
thing with him and his brother. What is
Dumbass.
his brother going to do?
That's the other thing I didn't bring up too, is that kind of bothered me. It was like we had not post credits, two end scenes with the brother, one being like, oh, Darius, and then the other one be like, I'm gonna find you, Darius. I'm like, do we really need two scenes? Because you really didn't do anything with this character at all.
For
Mm.
real, nothing at all whatsoever. Like, was he sitting in the room the whole entire time thinking, like, should I go after my brother? Should I not? Let me check my account. Yeah, I could. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna find you, brother. And then he just leaves. I don't know. It was annoying. I thought he was gonna. I, I don't know what his brother could really do.
Yeah, I mean,
You know. Um, Another thing. The what, Doctor Turner, whatever her name is. Um,
did you say
she's
man?
just no, the Doctor Turner, whatever her name is. She
May.
was
Yeah, man.
May.
Yeah,
Yeah, May. I don't know. Um, Throwaway character. Just
I agree.
throwaway character. Cash, most stupidest fucking character I've ever seen in any type of show.
I mean, I feel like they
I
tried, but it failed.
it's a man child trying to make fucking dinosaurs fight, and this show was trying to do in my opinion, the political side of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom that I didn't like too much.
Well,
And,
I feel like
and
they
maybe
adult characters, but then they didn't act like adult characters.
yeah, they were too. I mean, I think what Sal said, they're too cartoonish. Well, at least May is,
Yeah, like Scooby
but
Doo.
yeah, but
Yes.
but the thing is that they were one of the things also too was in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I thought the movie was okay, but I didn't like the whole entire like political side of it, where they're doing some of these dinosaurs auctions, and then they brought out that other dinosaur. What was it called? It was much advanced where you point the gun and the laser, and the dinosaur attacks it.
I wouldn't say
Attacks.
political, but I know what you're trying to say.
I mean, it's more political compared to all the other movies.
I mean, it was more of clones and fucking choosing and
And
then
money.
yeah, but I wouldn't say political.
Well, that's the only word I could really think of. I don't know what else I
Yeah, I
could.
can't. I right now, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this season
I,
went towards that route. With cash, like, oh, you know what? Let's cash in with dinosaur fighting. Everybody's gonna love it, boss, and
but-
then we were gonna make so much money off of it.
so I think what you mean is ethical or ethics with the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Just
somewhat. Yeah, because the T Rex, like the mother and daughter thing, didn't really play a big part for me either. I was just like, okay, where are they going with this? The dinosaur was half injured the whole entire time. Darius is petting it like a fucking dog, and did the T Rex smile at Darius at a point? I was
Yeah.
like,
no.
what the fuck is this? No, eat him. Try to eat him. Eat
Snap his head
him.
off.
God damn it. And the velociraptors were just velociraptors again chasing them, but they get away with this, some fucking stupid gimmick. And then you have like these other things that ate the other dinosaurs, the other thing like the other gimmick thing, the poison dinosaurs,
Oh yeah.
the one that ate the fat guy from the first movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was just I don't know. It was just more like, hey, you remember? I remember. You remember these dinosaurs? I remember. You know, and I was just bored.
I think
Mhm.
also with the three little dinosaurs at the end too. They really like okay, they were gonna just control them, but then they would die. It was just like okay.
Yeah, the show was boring. Each episode, I felt less interest. I didn't like any. Honestly, I think maybe the ending I liked because it was the last episode and that cliffhanger. I guess it was just like, okay, so I guess we had to watch it because to see what Manicore is going to do with the kids now. Like, what I would have loved to see for this show sort of connect with Fallen Kingdom, some sort. They become adults, and then now these dinosaurs are now roaming in in the world now. But yeah, that's something that I would have loved to probably maybe see, or I don't know. I'm done. If they're gonna continue, like they're already off the island. There's nothing to really do anymore. If you're gonna continue like just fucking milking the shit out of this show, and
Mm.
this is what you're gonna do for next season, just with the daddy and son issues now, like I'm good. I don't want to watch it. I'm checked out.
I think yeah, I agree. I think they have one more season in them, and who knows how that's gonna be. After talking, yeah, I guess I'm gonna drop it to a red.
So one thing I would say is that I feel like this season would have been better if, and this goes to support Mike's stance. I think what he brought up was the season would have done better if we had flashbacks of like their families, of what they've been doing for like the
Yes.
6 months, or like once they got news of like where the fuck their kid is, to lead up to Darius's brother saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go find him," leading to Kenji's dad going on that island and being like, "Oh my God, Kenji!" Like, I
Yeah.
think that is what this series is missing, because I think we're now over it sounds like all of us are over the whole. We get it. The kids are here. They're lost. They're trying to fucking survive. But we also got to think, because this is grounded in reality. And I think that's a flaw in this series, is that it's connected to the other movies, and so it's like, well, what is the realistic aspect of this? Where are the families? Why aren't there search parties? Like, what's going on here? Like, what have
Yep.
they tried to do? Like, that's what I think this series needs, is we need that other part, that other side of these kids, to kind of make it a little bit more complete. Another thing I wanted to bring up was, and I understand whether it's ethics or politics, that shit can be really annoying, but I almost want to argue, like, how much more do we really just want to see then about just dinosaurs alone? Because I
Yeah.
feel like one of the more interesting points about Fallen Kingdom was the fact that these are these are creatures, these are animals, these are living things. Like, it's not our place to like say that whether they choose to live or die. Like, they shouldn't be treated like such. They should just be able to roam around things. And I think that's what the first no, the second was it the second Jurassic one of the two Jurassic Park movies like kind of touched on that a little bit, but didn't really like, drive it too far. They were just like, oh, think about this notion, and then now we're just gonna,
When you
let
say
you
first
simmer
or
on it.
second, original or the new one?
Yeah, original,
Hmm.
I think that
Um.
was Jurassic Park 2.
maybe.
No?
But I mean,
Yeah.
but there's only so much you can really do with like, oh, dinosaurs chasing. Oh my gosh, like, that's fun for like maybe the first movie or two. But that's why I had a little bit of hope for this movie, where it's like, oh, now you're showing me a corporation that's doing something with these dinosaurs. Like, dig deeper into that corporation, because I don't mind that side, as long as you make it interesting and with
Yeah.
good characters. But that, and then as a counter to that, like, that was weird.
It was a man.
Um, and that's a counter to my own argument, is that this series or this season didn't do it with interesting characters. They did it with really dumbed down, cartoony characters that was more boring than it was exciting or interesting. And so this series, if they wanted to do the corporation route, I feel like they didn't do it justice, because
No.
it seemed less corporation and more dangerous scene and now relationship that we need to have happen, and then
With
that's
Yes, I
it.
what
agree.
Mike said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I I mean, but Mike isn't interested in that kind of thing. Like, I
Um,
wouldn't mind if they
yeah.
dig deeper into Manticore in the next season, or what's Henry Wu's thing? Was it Gen what's the other one? There was
Yeah.
Manticore, and then there
Um.
was
I know what you're
Gencore.
saying. I think
It was
so.
something like that. It did start with a. I don't know. I think it
But I mean,
is Gen
we
Core,
already saw
maybe.
that in the season before.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
A little, yeah. Okay, yeah. When we're going through Henry Wu shit and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it was Manticore side, but I don't know. It just didn't. It just felt dumb. It just felt stupid, and I just wasn't interested.
Yeah. I
And
will agree with you about that. It's that if they're gonna do the whole political thing and everything like that, make it interesting. But I feel like this season didn't make it interesting whatsoever.
right,
And the thing with Fallen Kingdom, I I don't know. I wasn't really interested because I feel like it wasn't. They didn't made it interesting enough for me to be hooked that much into it. I mean, it was cool that they're cloning humans too, but you know.
I don't know, I liked Fallen Kingdom for going that approach. I don't know. Well,
Hmm.
I'm curious to see what Dominion brings, but yeah, this
Right.
season only, it's got one more chance. And it's like, for at least Ham and I, it's been tapering down. You went extreme, fuck it, jumped off the boat and was like,
Oh
fuck
yeah.
this series off of this last season. So yeah, I
Yep.
would agree that this has one more season in me, and then if it doesn't do it right, then I'm out. Like, I'm done watching this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Same thing. Same thing with me. Honestly, I'm fine for not even watching next season. That's how much I fucking hated it.
Well, I think you have to give it one more season, but then if they do another one after that,
Ugh,
We're
I guess
pushing it.
so. I'm pushing it.
All right, just like we've been pushing the time here as well. Um, Mike, do that thing that I want you to do quickly so I can go back to playing Halo.
Hey guys, follow us on social
What?
media. Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Drunk Cop and a Teacher, and then write us an email at drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com.
You almost forgot.
Yeah, I did. Fuck.
Wait,
Pressure.
yeah, don't forget.
Oh no.
All right, listeners, our next episode is going to be an exciting one because we are going to do a live recording of No Way Home. We're
Yeah.
going to do it literally after I just get out of the theater for it. It'll be my second time watching it because my first time I just want to try to enjoy it for what it is, and then the second time I'm going to nitpick the shit out of that movie.
Hell
And
yeah.
then Ham, are you watching it that day?
Friday, yeah.
Friday, but like earlier in the day.
Yes, I'll be out before you.
Okay, yeah. And
Okay.
then as soon as Mike
Also-
gets out of work, he's gonna come over. We're gonna do it at my place.
Also,
and we're gonna
when we
eat
meet
and we're
live-
gonna have drinks and I'm gonna talk the
Ooh.
shit out of Spider-Man.
Also, when we mean live, we mean together, not live.
Yes, together.
Yeah.
And then
and together.
the week after that will be our Christmas episode. We'll talk about 8-bit and hopefully Matrix Resurrection. We should be able to in that movie before we do the recording. And then the last episode of the year would be our top 10 our top 10 of the year of things that we watch.
Becky.
Me crema.
God, I fucking hate you, Ham. Yeah, that's our lineup for the next few weeks. So we're wrapping it up here at the end of 2021. Just like we're gonna wrap up this episode. All right, gentlemen, any last closing words?
I'm an island boy.
Don't feed the dinosaurs.
Sabretooth.
Tiger.
Wow.
No, you're supposed to say Tyrannosaurus.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, you fucked it up.
Dun, dun.
Fuck.